Hey, what's up? This is Dillio coming to you with another video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help me grow this channel and all that good stuff. And what I want to talk about today is 5 different ways that a music producer can make income in 2020 and beyond. And these 5 things that I'm going to talk about aren't the only ways you can make income, but this could be some ideas that you may have thought of, may have not thought of, or some things you can try. It's even a reminder for me. So as I'm telling it to you, I'm reminding myself because there's always opportunities out there, and it's always a good idea to try things over again that you may have not succeeded for early on. So let's go into it. Number 1, release a beat tape. Now, there may be mixed opinions about this from different music producers, but I think it's a great thing. I can think about Dillie and how he had some CDs out there from his collection that were just beat tapes, and they rolled, they vibed. And I think that's a great way to get the word out about what you do. And the interesting thing is that it's very inexpensive to get your music online on different streaming platforms like Spotify and beyond, because with platforms like DistroKid and CD Baby, it's very easy to just put a collection of beats that you've done on there and release it. Now, it may not make as much money in the beginning, but it is better, in my opinion, to have it sitting there than to just let it sit and collect dust on your hard drive where no one can hear it. And you might be surprised because a lot of artists look for music, and a lot of people just like instrumentals. Maybe they don't want a full song, and they can come to you for tracks. And so that's one of the first ways you can make some income from it instead of just letting it sit on your hard drive. It's something that I'm actually interested in doing in the near future. Just release some beats on an actual beat album, separate from my music albums, just to share out there with the world, and then generate some revenue from the streams. Every cent counts, especially with how little musicians get with streams, right? So just adding to that is a great place to start. I know a few young producers that I've worked with and talked to. They release some beat tapes, and I just think it's great to have that there, to have a collection of work that other artists can listen to, other producers can listen to, and I think it's a good idea. So that's number 1 in this list. Number 2, selling your beats online. Now, I don't even know if this is even a controversial topic at this point in time. I think that the peak conversation of this has came and gone, but it's still a viable option. There are still a lot of music producers who are generating a lot of revenue from selling their beats online. I've done it myself. I've started into it, and I tried, and I kind of put it down, then got back into it. And I've had phases with it myself. But the truth of the matter is that it's still a viable option, and you'll never know if you can sell a beat online if you never put it somewhere where people are looking and getting that traffic for the sales. So it's very important to get your music and your beats somewhere. So selling beats online like Airbit, BeatStars, and there are even other platforms where you can sell your music online without even deal with any of those platforms and still generate revenue. And that is number 2 with selling your products online, just like you would any other product. You can do that with beats. You can sell beat leases, you can sell exclusives. And also the interesting thing about that is that when you create a lot of those tiered pricing options, it creates more opportunities for you to make sales. So even though while you might have a collection of beats that are on a beat tape somewhere, you have a collection of beats that are on a catalog. They're there for serious artists who are serious in investing in their career by buying your music production. And that's just another way you can create income for yourself. So that's actually 2 different streams you can have going on at the same time. Okay, number 3, film and television placements. Now, I'll be honest with you, that's something I'm still working on, but I do know that it is a viable option for you when you want to generate money from your production. You can get them placed on television shows, and there's different websites that'll help you do that, and we'll talk about that in another video. But the interesting thing about that is that once you get it placed on a TV show or that movie or that video game, then you start to generate passive income, and it's still even happening now, even though the music or the movie industry is not really having a lot of debuts and releases right now. And I definitely really hope that we get back to where we can actually go to the movies. I do miss the experience, and I don't know, you can let me know in the comments below. Do you guys miss the experience? I definitely do. Well, this is another viable option for yourself to generate income with your music production. So we talked about number 1, releasing a beat tape. That can be a stream of income. Number 2, selling beats and leases online. And then number 3, film and television placements. It's challenging, and I think it's challenging before you actually get it, and I think it gets easier before or after you actually place it, because then people are starting to get to know you. You start to actually build up an actual portfolio of projects that you actually been on, and that's something I'm actually still pursuing myself. Number 4, music placements with independent or major artists. This is something that can provide another stream of income for you as a music producer, because you can now generate multiple streams from royalties and sales, and maybe you might strike a deal with the artist and say, hey, the artist may not have money to pay up front, but what you can do is take a cut of the streams and negotiations to pay for the production that way. That can be an income stream. And I think that it's a good idea to pursue both. Pursue working with independent artists that want to work with you. That's something I'm working on. And then also pursue major record placements, which is also something I'm working on, which can also bring in more streams of income. It's about not really focusing on one stream, but finding where you can generate multiple streams of income at the same time, which definitely will elevate your bottom dollar in that aspect. The last one I want to talk about is collabs. And when I talk about collabs, I'm talking about collabing with other music producers. You may be able to build a relationship with a music producer who may be more well known than you are. And if your music production is good, you may be able to strike up a relation with that person and say, hey, let's work on a track together and we could split the sales. I've had music producers that I worked with on BeatStars who definitely have more visibility than me, who has collabed with me. And because of that relationship and because of the music that we worked on together, I benefited from that collab. I got beat sales and beat leases from working with that person solely based on us collabing, and the music producer that I worked with was generous enough and not so greedy. It's like, oh, I'm gonna keep everything to myself. And you have to kind of pay attention to that. You have to really fill it out yourself. But having that relationship can generate another stream of income on top of all these other things that you've done already. So don't be afraid to collab. And I know collabing takes time. Even for me, collabing takes time because I like to get to know people before I collab with them. I'm not the type of person just collab off of face value. Like, oh yeah, no. I like to see what's going on. What are you up to? What are you doing? And I talked about that in other videos before. What are you doing? What are you up to? Are you working, or are you just waiting till someone shows up? But that's a whole nother video. But definitely collabs can provide another stream of income for you as a music producer or even as an artist. So those are 5 ways that I wanted to bring to your attention to even remind myself of how us as music producers and creatives can generate income in today's economy, online and in person. Don't sleep on the in-person stuff because this COVID thing, you never know who you can meet out there. And I know it's not easy for everybody to be out there. Everybody's still maxed up. Everybody's still a little timid about getting out there, which I understand because it's a serious issue. But what I want to say is that try not to lock yourself into just one thing. Explore other options and even re-explore options that you were really going hard on and you might have had to sit down. And don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to come back to it, because every time you fail and come back to it, you know a little bit more, and you know that you need to stick with it a little bit more. And not only am I talking for you, I'm talking for myself, especially when it comes to the music placement thing. And I just want to try and encourage somebody today in this video. So I hope I did that. I hope I just kind of gave you some ideas or at least some thoughts to talk about in the comments below, which I would appreciate if you do that and leave a comment below. And even let me know what you like to talk about in these videos in the near future. All right, so I'm going to wrap that up. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. And also check out some other videos right here on the Dillio TGK channel right here on YouTube.
Dillio on the track.